What's lively and fun, artsy and spirited, takes place every month and is bringing renewed life and energy to both downtown Canton and downtown Akron. We'll explore two extraordinary programs next on NewsNite. This is NewsNite, and I'm Jody Miller. You know, it wasn't that long ago that after 5 p.m. on any given Friday night in Canton, there was nobody around. It was a ghost town. Actually, the same could be said of downtown Akron. In fact, as the saying goes, you could take a bowling ball and roll it down the middle of Main Street, and you wouldn't hit anybody or anything. But thankfully, times have changed. And a lot of the change is due in part to two arts-centered programs that have brought renewed life and vigor to both downtown Canton and downtown Akron. In Canton, it's First Fridays. In Akron, it's Akron's Art Walk. And we're going to talk to the people involved with both of those programs. First, we want to welcome here Robb Hankins, who is with Arts and Stark.
Yes, I am.
CEO and president, correct,
yes,
of Arts and Stark.
That's me.
And Tricia Ostertag, who is currently the community arts manager for Arts and Stark and directly in charge of First Fridays.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you both for joining us. I want to start with you, Robb. Explain to our viewers, what is Arts in Stark?
Arts and Stark is a 43-year-old private nonprofit county arts council. It gives out $1,200,000 a year in grants, runs a 330,000 square foot cultural center, and runs one of the 60 annual United Arts campaigns in America, which last year raised $1,665,000. And in our spare time, we have a passion for using the arts to create smarter kids, new jobs, and healthier communities, of which downtown revitalization and First Friday is a part.
So how does First Friday relate to Arts and Stark?
5 years ago, we went to the Canton Chamber of Commerce. There's a division there called the Special Improvement District, run by a gentleman named Mike Gill. We said, with our usual bravado, we can revitalize this downtown. The arts can help. The secrets are public art, artist studios and galleries, and live music. Would you like to partner with us? Much to my amazement, because this is my 9th community, and no Chamber of Commerce has ever said this before, they said yes. And here we are 63 months later with an explosion in downtown revitalization. It's been truly exciting, but first you need artists. We got some great ones. Then you need a partner. We got the Chamber. And then Tricia and I just help out.
Well, actually, Arts and Stark started, like you said, 62, 63 months ago. Just about the same time that you came on board.
The First Friday did start then.
Okay, all right. And so First Friday got its start. Okay. Tricia, tell us what First Friday is all about.
Sure. Well, first of all, a lot of people don't understand that First Friday actually happens all year long. It's synonymous with a street party. So from May through October, it looks a lot like a street party. We have a couple thousand people that come down, anywhere between 2,000 and 4,000 people, depending on the weather. We have live music. We have vendors' booths. We have food. We have a lot of excitement. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. So during the summer and nicer weather months, it's a lot like a street party. But then during the cooler months, we're still there. We're still plugging away, and it moves to be more like an art walk where we focus a lot more on the interior things, and our art galleries are there all year long. So we try to drive traffic there as much as we can and focus on the art and the excitement that we have going on inside of our galleries.
Well, you weren't around for it because you're recently new to your job.
I am.
But Robb, tell us what that First Friday was like.
First Friday was me and a couple of people on step ladders trying to get power out of light posts, hiring a couple of street musicians for Court Avenue so you'd feel a little bit like New York City, wondering if anyone was going to come because we didn't have any money to advertise. 100 people showed up. We said, well, nice, but next month 300 people. By month 3, 1,000 people showed up. No one could believe it. Everyone dropped their jaws. And I would remind you that when we started 5 years ago, there was one art gallery and not a single artist studio. Today we have 26 art galleries and artist studios, 43 new pieces of public art, and 63 months of street parties.
And that's one of the things I want to talk about is the kind of economic and social impact that a program like this obviously has. You know, tell us why this has been like the revitalizing force to bring economics into the community.
Well, I'll jump in first and let Tricia jump in second. You know, I think what our strategy for downtown Canton, which the Chamber, I think, embraces, is first you need people to believe in your downtown. And we have 50 artists who are there every day subsidizing the revitalization of downtown Canton. And now they see art on all the street corners, they see art banners, they see First Fridays, you know, and there's this sense of, oh, downtown could have energy. So we are finishing up, in my mind, phase one of a reinventing of downtown Canton, and it's thanks to the arts.
Tricia?
I think it's important to note, too, that as you were talking about in your introduction, we went from a place where people weren't sure they wanted to be downtown at night to a place where not only is it vibrant on First Friday, but we've got music going on all weekend long, every weekend. We have our artist studios and galleries that are open for people to come and visit. And so while First Friday has been the driving force and has been, you know, the excitement that we've needed to kickstart this, we're continuing it throughout the entire month to bring people downtown. And First Friday has been the key and integral part of that.
Why is it that art seems to be kind of the perfect mixture for bringing people together, particularly in a downtown setting?
Because everyone loves to party.
And art is party?
You know, First Friday is an arts party,
Okay.
but a lot of people just come to party. I mean, I'm from Wisconsin. We're in the Midwest. This is not Santa Fe, New Mexico. You know, it's liquor and food and live music and fun and excitement. But if you take the liquor and food out of it and just have art exhibits, you know, in Midwest America, the party won't be rocking and rolling. Plus, when the world started, which I remember because I'm so much older than both of you people, and you know what I had for breakfast. You know, tribes of people did everything. There wasn't an art museum over here and a church over here. Everyone came to the community and they celebrated. There was always dance, there was always music, there was always food. So we're returning to our tribal roots, that if you can make downtown the place everyone goes to party, you've got a shot at reinventing your downtown.
Well, and obviously you are making downtown Canton a place to party because you get thousands of people down there on any given First Friday.
Well, it's a beginning, but you know, we're humbled because this is phase one. And you can't make downtown Akron or downtown Canton work on special events alone. You need downtown living in huge amounts. So people are just wandering around, drinking and eating on all the nights. And you need enough specialty retail, not the old kind of retail, but destination retail, so that you have a complete downtown. So we are so far from where we need to be. It's easy for us to stay humble, but thanks for your nice words.
Tricia, tell us a little bit, if you would, about the themes that First Fridays have. Because if I understand correctly, every First Friday, and that's 62 now, has had a special theme.
It has, and actually, it would be easy just to have First Friday and that be it. But when you're doing it month after month after month, the key to keeping it fun, keeping it exciting is themes, right? So we have had actually different themes every single month for our 60 going on 3 First Fridays. And like our last one that we had last Friday was Now We're Cooking. So we transformed the Arts District into, you know, a restaurant of sorts, where we had a cake decorator who was doing demonstrations of cake decorating, and the executive chef from Glenmore doing tasting demonstrations. And we had a food carver from the University of Akron who was here, you know, doing food carving. So we take our themes, we try to apply them to art, and, you know, to think about how we can always showcase the art, because that's why we're there. And, you know, make it fun and exciting. This next one we've got Once Upon a Time, and we're going to be having some of our actors from the Players Guild Theater at the Cultural Center in downtown Canton who are going to be there for photo ops with the kids. We've got some storybook telling that's going to be going on. So it just gives us an opportunity to make it new. You know, if somebody says to me, well, I've been to First Friday. Well, you haven't been to this First Friday. And it makes it new and exciting every month.
Robb, if I understand correctly, too, you have even been known to lead a parade on First Fridays.
You know, we encourage people to be crazy and zany, so I think I need to lead by example. So I have 5 pairs of colored pants that I've painted at my kitchen table and colored tennis shoes. And even when we're not doing a parade, and we don't do parades all the time, we change those up too. I'm wearing my stuff because I'm saying this is a party about innovation, creativity, you know, just hanging out and relaxing, and you know, a little bit like a Mardi Gras celebration on a monthly basis, I hope.
How have you seen First Fridays change from the beginning until now?
Well, I think what's great is, and that's why Tricia is so critical, is we're the arts. You know, I was meeting with the head of the Timken company the other day, and we've just finished a 10-year plan for arts and economic development called 2020 Vision. 140 people participated, and one of the task forces was called innovation. You know, what America is about is innovation. What the arts is about is innovation. What entrepreneurship is about is innovation. So an arts district and a monthly party needs to change constantly, just like a public television station, because if you're doing the same old stuff, you're like a tired old company. So we need to lead by example, and so every month we want to surprise you at First Friday.
How have you seen the businesses, the restaurants and the galleries been impacted by bringing those kinds of people into downtown Canton on a First Friday?
You know, that's where you both feel like a god, and then you're immediately humbled, because some of the footage we shot last week that you may be showing shows you bars filled with people, restaurants where you can't even get a reservation. You've got to go out of downtown to eat. But the next night, you know, you're back to the real world, because that was a special event. You don't have phase 2 done. So what's great about it is First Friday is this burst once a month that reminds you that this could work. You know, you've got to be more than First Friday. You've got to be a Canton Arts District and a downtown with downtown living and all the other stuff. But once a month you get a chance to see the dream come true.
Well, and we do want to thank Henry Konzak, I believe that's his name, of Henry J. Productions, because he is the person responsible for shooting the video that you are seeing behind this program. What I want to do is continue our discussion with you guys on an extended edition of NewsNite, because our next guest is Susie Graham with Downtown Akron Partnership. And I'll ask her some of the same questions I've been asking you, and then we'll bring all of you back together for the third segment of our show.
For more NewsNite content, including extended discussions, full interviews, and the chance to speak your mind about the issues, join us online at newsnite.net.
And we now welcome to our panel Susie Graham, who is President and CEO of Downtown Akron Partnership, which for the past 17 years now has been very instrumental in helping to bring the vibrancy back to downtown Akron.
Absolutely. We are a nonprofit organization with a mission to promote and build a vibrant and valuable downtown. So we do that in a number of ways. Arts programming is one of the icing pieces, so to speak, that we get behind. But certainly one of our original initiatives, or arts-based initiatives, that helped revitalize downtown was the very First Night Akron, which is a celebration of the arts as a New Year's Eve celebration. So that was 17 years ago, and we're very proud that that is still going strong. But we do a lot of other initiatives to try to strengthen downtown, including clean, safe, and vibrant initiatives and stakeholder services, business outreach, and we're just getting into development and retail recruitment as well.
Well, explain a little bit more about those kinds of activities that Downtown Akron Partnership is trying to get involved in.
Sure. Our Clean, Safe, and Vibrant initiatives, one of the keystones of that initiative is our ambassador service. And we have a group of 9 safety and cleaning ambassadors that circulate around the downtown footprint to try and do hospitality services, to acquaint people to downtown and the activities going on in downtown, as well as doing things as simple as picking up litter, eradicating graffiti, helping deter panhandling. So a number of services that cannot be provided by the city. So Downtown Akron Partnership steps in to enhance those services with our ambassadors. We also have a comprehensive streetscape and beautification program, as well as some other safety initiatives, including working with our nighttime economy and growing our nighttime economy, doing business outreach to try and assist with attracting and retaining new talent to the area, and then also doing our programs, which include a winter and a summer farmers market, and Downtown Akron Partnership's new arts initiatives, which we're talking about today, that complement that First Night Akron celebration that we do annually.
Well, one of the events, the activities that you have been very instrumental in getting going is the first Saturday Artwalks, Akron's Artwalks.
Yes.
Explain what that is all about.
The Downtown Akron Art Walk actually originated in the north side pocket of downtown, and it was originated by the artists themselves. At the time, there were maybe 3 gallery spaces, and local artists Sandy Halata and Don Miller got together and tried to organize those artists so that they would open their galleries in a synchronized way, and that they would invite people into downtown. Slowly but surely, the number of artists started to grow in that area, and the city of Akron took note of the fact that there were these fabulous artists here, and we really need to promote this, and that art has a lot to do with revitalizing a community. So they got behind the Art Walk, and as it started to grow and increase into different pockets, they helped collaborate and coordinate the flow of information between the artists, and then added a trolley that would run a loop between the pockets. And then the Downtown Akron Partnership became involved with it to, again, try and increase its promotion, assist the artists by providing them with websites, and the Art Walk with a website. And then to, recently we've stepped up that process of coordinating the communication flow and publishing a list of what's going on at each Art Walk.
Wow. It's pretty, very, very extensive and pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. Describe for us what the streets are like in downtown Akron on the occasion of an Art Walk.
So one of the cool things about downtown, and sometimes a challenge, is the fact that we have, because of our topography and because of our history that's based on the canal, we have a very long downtown corridor. So we have a very long Main Street, which provides a lot of real estate to develop, but it also sometimes leads to the creation of what we call small pockets, so small pockets of activity. At Main and Exchange, you have a very strong nightlife economy. At Canal Park, you have the wonderful crowds that we bring in for the Arrows games and the fireworks. In what we call the Lock Block, we have Lock 3 and Lock 4 that draw enormous crowds down for live music, as well as the Civic Theater that brings down crowds for sort of an established concert experience and a new type of social atmosphere. The cool thing about the Downtown Akron Art Walks is it is a very non-commercial, hyper-local, authentic experience about the arts. So what we like to do is encourage people to have an experience where they can get to know the artists that are contributing to the community up close and personal, and have the opportunity to talk to them, face to face in a very casual conversation kind of way, to break down the fourth wall that sometimes exists between the community and the arts. So our streets on a typical Art Walk night, you may find musicians out roaming the footprint. The artists are there, they are manning their galleries, they're talking about the art that they create on a daily basis, and it creates a great, because of its geography, creates a great corridor that links local art to national art in the Akron Art Museum, as well as some more established local artists at Summit Art Space.
Explain to us, if you would, what kind of impact, economically, socially, collectively, that arts in the downtown area happens to engender?
I think the great thing about arts in a local community or in a downtown community, and it's not just me, these are things that are proven, is that new talent that's coming into an area is looking for culture and art as much as they are a place to work. So they are truly looking for a place to live that is vibrant in an authentic way and not a manufactured way. The great thing about the Akron market is, some people will gravitate to a city like Chicago or New York because they want to identify with the city. The great thing I always say about Akron is a city that loves you back. So you can identify with it, and it then in turn identifies with you. So the economic impact of the arts is huge. That's bringing in new pools of talent, and then also the revitalization power of the arts is paramount. Going back to that first night 17 years ago, if you consider downtown Akron 17 years ago and downtown Akron today, there has been enormous transformational change, and a lot of that has to do with the flexibility of the arts, the creativity of the arts, and the ability to instill vision and hope and dreams in human beings. And the more they can connect with the arts, the better our communities can be and the more strengthened our communities can be.
You just recently, I think it was for the Art Walk last month, you have an arts prize now. This is the first ever. Explain what this involves.
We do. Actually, the Margaret Clark Morgan Foundation took an interest in the Grand Rapids Art Prize competition and thought, hey, this is fabulous. This is more about revitalizing a community through the arts. How can we do something like this? So they spoke with us, and we decided to undertake the initiative, and we're very happy that we are. Obviously, it's one of those cases of there are grand ideas everywhere nationwide, and yes, we definitely borrowed an idea and tried to put an Akron spin on it. In a similar way, the mayor took on Gallery 37 and the project in Chicago and did the Lock-Through Summer Arts Experience, which is a very Akron spin on a way of doing that similar type of initiative. So the Akron Arts Prize is basically a month-long competition, and local artists, or any artist actually, you could be an international artist, is invited to compete, and then the winners of the competition are determined through text-to-vote technology. So it does two things. It provides an opportunity for independent artists to get their art in front of a new audience, and it also encourages a new art audience to come into the arts district and take place in the arts. And we really want people to find their voice and how it can impact the arts. So the prize money for this competition is a $5,000 first prize, and then there are 5 $1,000 runners-up, and they'll be announced on October the 6th at the conclusion of the Art Walk.
Sounds fascinating.
It's fun.
We're going to continue our discussion on NewsNite.net because I have a couple more questions I do want to ask you.
On NewsNite.net, we cover a broader range of topics than we can on the air in 27 minutes. Be part of the conversation on our Facebook page and at NewsNite.net.
We are back for our final segment of the show about arts and arts in downtowns. And first of all, I do want to thank Ted Sikora, who was so kind to provide us with video from the Downtown Akron Partnership's Art Walk. My first question to the three of you has to do with vibrancy, and it's why is a vibrant downtown and a vibrant art scene, why do they seem to be essential for the growth of a community?
Well, some people believe in downtowns and some people don't. You know, there are many people in America, much to my distress, who will live in the suburbs forever. And let's be honest, I've worked in downtowns where people pride themselves in saying, I haven't been downtown for 10 years, and there's nothing downtown I want. So we've heard all those stories. I think the question is, how do you use the arts as a tool? It was great listening to Susie chat, to strategically, and make downtown into such a partying place, such the place to go that people just say, let's do something tonight, and they say, let's go downtown.
I really think creating that destination, because downtowns have so much to offer. It's not just going to a movie. It's not just going to one specific restaurant. You can enjoy so many things in one corridor that it is central to your community. I mean, downtowns are the living room for your community. So you want to try to encourage the growth of that community in as many ways and as many aspects as possible, whether it's arts or sports or dining and nightlife destinations, those kinds of things. You want to strengthen it because that is the core of your community, and that is how you invite people into your town to view it, particularly if they're coming in to bring jobs or businesses. Again, I'm coming from that economic development perspective, but they're absolutely critical to have a vibrant social gathering space, particularly as people have less and less time to spend. So you have this very critical, small period of time when you have the ability to do things that are social and fun with your family or with your friends. And downtowns provide that opportunity to do all of it in one place and still have a very social and vibrant atmosphere to do it in, and to really key into human contact as opposed to your typical work environment or maybe doing things online or on the web.
Well, these are two extraordinary programs, First Friday and Akron's Art Walk. And you're, 30 miles apart? Have you ever discussed or talked about collaboration?
All the time.
We have.
Okay, all right. And what form would that take?
Well, I think we've had some discussions in the past to try and figure out, how do we connect these two things? There's a number of ways and shapes that it might come into being, whether it's through a festival type of thing or some type of a regional celebration. I think there's an opportunity to explore there. We're certainly not doing the same event on the same day. They're very close, but I think the cool thing about them both happening on the same weekend is it creates this excitement and buzz about the arts, the first weekend of every month. So I personally think that that's a great thing to take advantage of. To those who are inclined to explore the arts, come see what Akron has to offer. Come see what Canton has to offer. They're very different. They're very dynamic. and it creates a great opportunity to explore the arts.
I want Trish to jump in, so I'll just say this really fast. You know, we would love for Akron and Canton to feel more like sister cities in all the things they do. We think we could be a powerhouse, but we've started in a really small way with the Akron Arts Alliance. Everyone that goes to the Akron-Canton Airport, or the Canton-Akron Airport, how you say it, yes, sees art there now made by Summit County artists and Stark County artists. It's a joint program between Arts and Stark and the Akron Arts Alliance, and maybe it's a tiny beginning.
Trish?
Well, as I was telling you while we were getting ready, I actually live in both worlds. I work in Canton and I come to school up here in Akron. So I spend a lot of time in both areas. And so the opportunity for those two things to work together is just a dream for me personally. So we've had some talks about how we can start to make this happen, and hopefully those plans can start to move forward a little bit.
Okay. Very quickly, we got less than a minute. What do you like best about Akron's Art Walk?
Akron feels to me like a totally sophisticated urban environment, and the Art Walk is totally unique.
Trish?
I love that the artist started it. I love that it was homegrown, it was their idea, they've kept it going with some assistance, and I love that they have the passion and excitement to get something like that started.
Susie, what do you love about
Canton.
First Fridays?
They have incredible density and the ability to get everything into this very, very tight corridor. So they have this fabulous energy that doesn't get lost in their footprint. So it's absolutely an incredible place to visit.
Well, thank you, all three of you, very much for being here and enlightening us about the wonderful things that are going on in both of the communities. Certainly appreciate it. And I want our viewers to understand that the next Canton First Friday is October 5th, once upon a time.
Yes.
And October 6th is the Akron's Art Walks, and they're going to award the prize for the Art Prize. Thank you for joining us. Good night.